Good afternoon. I'm Hui Hong, Executive Director leading the Industry Tech Transformation Division at SDB. Welcome to the November editions of our Tcube Events. So far, we have had 17 events, bringing to you a variety of topics from immersive technology, sustainability, to IoT, and enabling smart tourism, and many more. So these events are delivered through Tcube, or the Tourism Technology Transformation Cube, to help you in your digital transformation journey. As we prepare for the new year ahead, today's event, we will focus on hospitality tech trends for 2023. Our speakers, Sanjay and Zarina, today will be sharing their insights via presentations and Q&A conversations later. They will bring a wealth of experience and insights in corporate innovations and technology, and we hope today's edition will bring you fresh perspectives. Some key trends they will be sharing include contactless technology, big data, future of hospitality tech, and system integration. So these are the hotly discussed topics today, some more nascent to tourism applications than others. But whether you are a tourism company or you are a tech solution provider, we are keen to work with you and explore how might we actually further our collaboration in Tcube. You can indicate your interest and feedback via our polls and quick pop-up survey later at the end of the session, so we can work closely with you. So thanks again for tuning in today. So we hope you have a very fruitful sessions. Thank you. Andrea, back to you.
Hi, everybody. My name is Andrea Hack, and I'm the branded content editor for The Next Web, and I'll be your moderator for Tcube's latest event on hospitality tech trends for 2023. Now, we have a great lineup of speakers for today. As you can see, we have Sanjay Sharma, who is the head of information technology at Jumeirah Hotels and Resorts. And we have Zarina Juneja, who is the Director of Travel Technology at Accenture. Now, during the pandemic, as you know, we all experienced a sudden disruption in business. But now travelers are coming back in droves as we see the rise of revenge travel, or tourists making up for vacations they've missed over the last few years. That means that now is really the moment for hospitality businesses to take advantage of this influx of potential guests. And emerging technologies can present new opportunities to attract, engage, and retain loyal customers without the need for more staff. Today, our speakers will focus on 4 technology areas they believe will make a major impact on hospitality businesses, including learning how to leverage contactless tech beyond social distancing, how to make the most out of AI, big data, and predictive analytics, how introducing a cloud infrastructure can be a game changer for your business. And finally, they'll touch on some new emerging technologies that are set to disrupt the industry in the next few years. If you have any questions for our speakers during their presentations, you can drop them in the Q&A chat, and we will be sure to get to them at the end of the event. But before we get started, we'd like to bring you, our audience, into the conversation with a quick poll. So, has your business invested in any new technology since the pandemic? For example, AI, cloud infrastructure, big data and predictive analytics, extended reality, robotics, metaverse and NFT. We'd love to hear from you. If you could just take a moment to submit your answers on the poll that you've seen pop up on your screen, that would be great. So we'll just give you a few more seconds to submit your answers. Great. Well, thank you for submitting those answers. Now, please help me in welcoming our first speaker of the day, Sanjay Sharma, who is the head of technology at Jumeirah Hotel and Resorts. He will be speaking to you more about how you can leverage contactless technology and big data to boost your business. Sanjay, I'll leave this over to you.
Thank you, Andrea, and good afternoon, everyone. And if you can just go to my first slide, please. Thanks. So, just before I start, I just want to share with you that I strongly believe that we are living in a very, very exciting time. And this has happened especially after the pandemic, where I strongly believe that the human behavior has changed for good. We are more acceptable to technology. We are more acceptable to contactless technology. I have a 2-year-old kid in my house. Every time he comes to my living room, he always tap on the TV screen and try to zoom in or zoom out using his tiny fingers. I think there's a huge change. And you forget about going to the kid. I must share that how me and you have changed as part of this pandemic time which all of us have gone through. I'm pretty sure that you must have heard about Moderna or Pfizer vaccine, which was for COVID-19. But I'm not sure how many of you know, actually, when you actually take the vaccine on your shoulder, at that time, they actually inject a print instruction to your body. Imagine this is the first time it is happening like this, that where individuals are not basically inserting a form of virus into your body as an antibody, but actually they basically put in the print instruction. And I'm not sure whether you know this or not, a funny story where when Moderna founder actually realized that there is a virus like COVID and he wanted to have basically a form of virus so that he can produce the antibody, he actually called his team in China and they sent him a digital copy of the virus in the form of the attachment, in the form of the email attachment. I mean, this is something which we have never heard of, but this is how we are now acceptable. Now we accept the modern age technology. And today we'll be talking about artificial intelligence and data and contactless technology. But in the end, we will be talking only about 3 things, only 3. The first, how it is helping me in operations, how it is automating the operations and reducing the cost. The second is how it is generating more revenue. And third is that how it is uplifting the guest experience. And just to share with you regarding the operations, I really want to share that in most of the hospitality group, the objective is that we have to make operations invisible. Operations processes should not be visible to anyone, whether they are our customers or they are our employees. We have to automate the repetitive jobs. So considering this in mind, we have used RPA and Power Apps and what you call low-code, no-code, and we have automated close to 30 business processes, saving 30,000 person-hours per annum for us. But this is a trend which will go on and which will get replicated to more and more repetitive jobs where there is no cognitive capability which is required from human being, because this can be done by a bot. And that is just one part. And if you see, there are so many other things. For example, if you see, as of now, in any property, sorry, if you can go back to previous slide, and I just want to give 1 or 2 more examples. If you, yeah, thank you. So if you just take 1 or 2 more examples, you as a guest go to a front office desk for check-in, not because you need something. You go there because you want to help the hospitality group to fulfill their operation requirement of checking you in. So this is something which is there, and we need to see that how we can automate all such things so that we can make operation invisible to our guests and to our employees. But this can be done using what we are covering in the next slide. We strongly believe that data and analytics, which we call DNA, is the strong foundation for everything we will do in future. We have a team which actually captures all the digital footprint of our guests whenever they interact with us. And using that, we actually first create a kind of customer genome, or what we call the customer 360. As of now, we have information about 8 million guests, and we have close to 200 attributes about each of the guests. You know, team, I used to think that this is something really great what we have achieved. And I was talking to the data and analytics teams of Alibaba, where they busted my ego by stating that you have 200 attributes. We have information about 800 million customers, and for each customer, they have 2,000 attributes. For gender, they have 8 values: male, female, male who likes pink, female who has this preference. And this is how basically everyone creates the persona. But once you have created the persona, then you can apply this into many areas where either you can generate more revenue. For example, now we are using the insight which we are getting from data to upsell or cross-sell to our guests. We are predicting when a customer will be, what is the churn rate of our customer. We are trying to see that how we can bundle up product based on the persona of an individual. You know, recently we have done an AI-based campaign, which is just an SMS-based campaign, and we have seen a very encouraging uptake whenever the model is driven by AI and we target our customers on that. So there are many use cases to generate the more revenue, and similarly there are many use cases which you can use for DNA to basically reduce the cost of the operations. So that is something on the DNA. And the third point in the next slide, which is really important for us, is to see that how we can introduce disruption whenever we engage with our customer. So all the channels which are there at the outer layer and which actually we use for engaging with our customer, we are trying to see that how we can disrupt this from there. We are using a first of its kind selfie-based check-in, which is again a part of contactless technology, which we are introducing in Jumeirah group, where a guest can come and they can just take a selfie and they just get a room key on their mobile. But after that, they use the same selfie to charge a product to their room, or if they want, if basically they want to get access to a particular facility in the in our property. So everything can be done by their selfie using their own mobile. So that is something which we are introducing. I think we all know that right now almost all the restaurants have this QR code based menu, which is also a part of contactless solutions. But we really want to, we really want to see that how we can take it to the next level. It is not about just providing a PDF based catalog when someone scans a QR code, but actually we want to see that how we can recommend the right F&B combination to our guests whenever they are scrolling through the images of our digital menu, and how we can capture the time which they invest on one image, so that we can actually try to see that how we can personalize the experience for them a little later. You know, I want to share a funny story with you that I remember that, you know, when we launched e-menu at one of our beach property, and I was there with one of my friends at the pool, and I basically invited him to place an order using the QR code. He just took out his mobile, he scanned the QR code. I mean, it's a normal operation, you know, so everyone knows it. This individual went to the F&B dish which they wanted and and ordered. When he placed the order, he looked at me and he said, "You made a big mistake here." I said, "What?" He said, "You did, the application didn't ask me where I am. how will they actually know that I am here, and how will they deliver the order to me here? And after 10 minutes, when the food got delivered where he was, and that's the kind of delight which basically our guests get through the new digital experience. Because right now, using the Wi-Fi location-based analytics, you can actually track your guests where they are. And without any friction, you can actually introduce the solution to them. And the last thing which I want to share with you is the selfie-based check-in, which I shared with you. And I wanted to give this example to you that although this is a solution where you can just actually take a selfie and check the guest in, but actually it helps you to do a lot of other things also. When you have such kind of solution, it actually helps you to do affinity shopping or encourage affinity shopping. You know, we know the persona who that individual is, so we know whether this individual needs shopper-driven car or not, and we can actually bundle the product and we can sell it to them. I think frictionless payment is great because this is what our guest is experiencing outside our hospitality world when they travel on Uber or Lyft or any other taxi service. So right now, they just take their mobile out, they take a selfie, and the product gets charged to their room. I think the other thing is also very important that we actually use the application now to capture their digital activities so that we can capture their preferences and we can personalize the experience for them. The next one, which you might have seen in the hospitality world, is that you actually go to the front desk and then you need to sign a lot of things like a registration card and all. So I think that can be also done electronically using the digital device, using the same solution. And the most important point is that this is actually a next generation access management for us. You know, if you notice that whenever you go for breakfast in any restaurant, when you are staying in a hotel, they ask you the room number and your last name. But you know, why do they need that? If they have the selfie, they can actually recognize whether Andrea is eligible for, let's say, half board or she's eligible for breakfast, and they can actually provide them what they need. But these are just some of the examples which I have covered for contactless technology and AI-based solutions which we are introducing. But in summary, I would say in this age, humanity is getting more and more dependent on technologies like artificial intelligence. We go out from our house, we pick up the mobile phone, and we need Google to tell us which is the best way to reach there. I believe this is the time when hospitality world also need to integrate artificial intelligence to provide personalized experience to our guests, to see that how we can generate new revenue business models by selling the ancillary products, or to see that how we can reduce the operation cost by automating the repetitive processes, or by eliminating some of the business services which is just cost consuming. So this is just a brief summary of what I wanted to share with you. I hope you have enjoyed the session, and please let me know if you have any questions on the same.
Great. Thank you so much for that great presentation, Sanjay. And I just want to take another moment to remind the audience that if you have any questions about any of our speakers' presentations today, please do drop them into the Q&A tab, and we will answer those at the end of the session. Now, before we move on to our next speaker, we would love to bring you, our audience, into the conversation again with another poll, which you'll see popping up on your screen. Now, is your business already utilizing predictive analytics? And if so, what is the biggest challenge to adopting this technology? Please take a moment to submit your answers on the pop-up. Now we'll just give you a few more seconds to submit your answers. Great. Now, please join me in welcoming our next speaker for the day, Zarina Juneja, who is working for Accenture in their travel department. Now, she's here to talk to us more about how to optimize your operations with cloud infrastructure and some of the new emerging technology on the horizon. Zarina, welcome to the stage.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. So basically, we have seen a constant change in travel, and it's been like the travel industry, hospitality industry has, been very agile in responding to all those changes, and somewhere it's become very resilient. Next slide, Andrea. So now what? Now we're ushering into a next chapter of travel, where the technologies like cloud, 5G, data and AI, and Meta would help us drive key themes which are very important, what we see in travel, like connected travel, immersive experience, personalized holidays, and more. And technology is going to be a key enabler for all of that. Next slide, Andrea. So when I say the next travel adaptation, what is your adventure is going to be, and how you're going to drive growth, and that would mean understanding a new traveler, adapting to the volatility of the world, and bringing in those capabilities which will make you ready to kind of embark on that journey. Now let me explain what we really mean by a new traveler. Andrea, next slide please. So when I say a new traveler, the thing is, we are looking at a change in travel, as Andrea was saying earlier, and what we say, people want to travel. Travel has become their priority, and they are ready to do the trade-offs that they would want to trade off for their other spend with the traveler. They want to focus on. If you can just click and get all up, maybe it's easy. Sorry about that. So what are they looking for? They're looking for shorter trips. They're looking for regional travel, and they become very, very conscious. When I say conscious, like 60% of the shoppers look for sustainability angle. They want to be very conscious of their travel carbon footprint. They are looking for value deals. And there's a new kind of travel persona which is emerging, which is like people want to combine travel with leisure, and there are these digital nomads, and you would see a lot of micro trips people are planning. So now how do we respond? We have to move away by offering them something much more traditional model to something which is much more value based. We need to give them a one-stop shop where they get all the travel content, and it's curated and it's easy for them to kind of an immersive way and in an engaging way they can adopt this content. So now when we look at the other side, the uncertainty has not gone. We see that the volatility is still there, and things keep changing, and it's very important for the travel and hotel companies to be flexible so that they can pivot at a very short notice. And travel companies have to be resilient, because the cycles are, you scale up, you scale down, and how can you really adapt to this change? And mind you, world is watching. Hotel business is one business which is like signature. You have to carve out luxurious experiences. Plus, you have to do a very much balancing act, that you're taking care of the sustainability, you're taking care of the environment, as it has become very important. And then the next, are you ready? And we have seen that there is a workforce crisis, and how can we upscale our talent? How can we reduce the cost, bring down the cost, and increase our efficiency. So technology should not be a weak link, but it should be an enabler, and businesses should be future ready to harness this ongoing tech revolution, I would say. Next, Andrea. So we are saying that there are a couple of technologies, and cloud plays a very important role along with 5G and data to give you that agility and that innovation mindset, and brings in that resilience for you to experiment, do quick pilots, scale, test, and adopt yourself to the changing need of the traveler. Now, let me give you a small example. Like you should have a right mindset for you to adopt cloud. Uh, Andrea, next slide. And the future of it depends on it. And when I say right cloud mindset, I would like to bring a small case study which we recently did with one of a large North American airline customer. Next slide. North American customer, how we help them with their compressed transformation, where we kind of put in 8 weeks, most of their functions, which are of the contact center function, on cloud. This gave them that agility to improve on their customer experience, that increased their net promoter score. It made their employees very happy because it was very easy with all the real-time information which was available with them, so they could kind of service their customer faster, and they could focus more on servicing rather than getting caught up in the legacy and a lot of manual work. So definitely cloud helps you give that environment where you can bring in all the ecosystem very easily, very quickly, deploy all your businesses there, experiment, then scale. So there is a lot of flexibility which cloud can provide. So that's one part of the cloud. And let's look at the new technologies. And one of the most talked about technology is right now is metaverse, and we think every businesses will live in the metaverse continuum. And now, what does it mean to travel? What is the travel community thinking? Next slide, Andrea. People are skeptical because travel is a business where you have to be part of it, be with it, to feel it. It's more of a physical business where services have to be felt, hospitality standards have to be set. But still, when we did a survey, we found out that 53% of the travel executive felt that metaverse will have a positive impact on the organization, and 25% felt that it would be a breakthrough and have a transformational impact. Let's see next, like how we can use what could be some of the areas where metaverse could work on. Andrea, next slide. So when we say AR, VR, virtual reality, they can elevate the entire experience for all the stakeholders, the guests, the employee. Beautiful immersive experiences can be created. You can do fleet management for airline, you can do portfolio management. And when we move to engaging our customer, there's a journey where you do search and book. That is where you want to give a deja vu to your customer to see how it would feel, or what option should they choose, and that could all be brought together by metaverse. So you can actually invent the way you kind of want to build your product and make it available for your customers. So these are some of the areas where in travel metaverse could really do wonders. Next slide, Andrea. Now let's look at what are the existing travel companies and hotel companies. How are they using metaverse? When we look at one example, Millennial Hotel has opened up M Social Decentraland. In a way, they want to interact with their guests in an immersive way there. And when we talk about Disney, it has always been a content creator, and now they want to bring that on a larger canvas, which is a 3D canvas of metaverse, and make the storytelling experience very, very immersive, and whatever they deliver in terms of a theme park or resort experience, they could possibly create those phygital experience, which is a way forward. And if we look at the airlines like Emirates, they want to create a signature metaverse for their customer. And from the employee point of view, KLM actually is doing something where they want to give this virtual view of the plane, to get the cleaning staff familiarized how they can take care of, or how quickly they can do everything, because they are familiar, and this would kind of help them reduce the turnaround time. So when you say training, training, induction of the employee, which MGM is doing, where they want to see and set people to understand what are the brand standards, what they believe in, and how they can simulate that for their employees. So these are some of the ways metaverse is being used currently. Go next, Andrea. Now let me take you to what recent work, a pilot work which we did with Banyan Tree, where we have tried building in NFT and AR, VR all combined, where we wanted to bring back the guest after a long hiatus. How we can engage them to know more about the product, the services, the resort, and how this could be a participating exercise between the guest and the hotel. And that's where there was the scavenger hunt which was launched. It was like a Pokemon kind of experience, so that guests would use their mobile to search for the digital objects, and then they would win those prizes, and then those services could be executed. And all this was worked along with our partner Smart Media Lab, and we executed this small pilot, which could help them improve on their ancillary revenue, improve on their engagement with the guest. And it was like, outcome was fun, and also improvement of the ancillary revenue for Banyan Tree. So that's where I would say a lot of technologies can come together, the new technologies which we see, to create those kind of engaging, immersive experience for the new traveler. Any questions, please? We can always take it up.
Great. Thank you so much, Zarina, for that fascinating presentation. And I'd like to take this moment to also invite Sanjay back onto the stage so we can have a quick Q&A. As I mentioned to you, our audience, if you have any questions for our speakers, please do drop them into the Q&A chat, and we will address them during this portion of the event. Now, first of all, I wanted to start off with a really tough question for the two of you. So we've talked a lot about different tech trends today, but which do you believe will have the biggest impact on the hospitality industry? Zarina, maybe you can start us off.
So I was telling you, the people want all connected experience, right? You don't want a disjoint travel. Your context of how you communicate with the brand should not be lost. You don't want to repeat. You want to look at the content which is specifically tailored for you. It is curated for you. And when you are at the hotel, you want people to know what you want. And then your journey has to be entirely connected. So people are looking for very immersive and connected experience. So that's one trend which is very, very prominent, which we are seeing.
Definitely. And Sanjay, what in your view will have the biggest impact on the industry?
I think, like I said, humanity is getting more and more dependent on artificial intelligence. If for example, when the kid touches a TV and it doesn't zoom in or zoom out, they get discouraged. there is a liquid expectation among our customer when they experience something outside the hospitality. They expect the same experience will be there at the property as well. So in my opinion, artificial intelligence will play a very, very big role, whether it is anticipatory fulfillment of our guest need, like Zarina has mentioned, or it is anything related to how we can actually help our guests to curate the experience and provide the digital experience. I think AI need to play a very important role in uplifting the guest experience and reduce the cost in the operations.
Definitely. And we have a few questions from our audience here. First from Eunice, she asks, how has the adoption of digital and technology helped to alleviate manpower issues? And then the second part of our question is, how do you balance high tech / high touch in hospitality? What would be the USP versus in terms of homogenization happening at some point? I don't know if either of you have a
if you don't mind, I'll go first. These two questions are so good, and I would like to answer first. Zarina, please add what you feel later on. I think you're asking two things. I think the first thing probably what you're asking is that high tech and high touch and high tech. Just to give you a little bit of background, Jumeirah is in the hospitality industry, but we are actually a leader in the luxury hospitality segment, and that's where the high touch is so important. Even if there are some experiences which are actually enabled through technology, we cannot lose the touch which human provides to other human, and especially in the hospitality world. We really want when our VIP guests to step into our property that someone, not a robot, an individual should be greeting them with their name. They should be understanding their persona. They should be actually accompanying them to the room. They should be able to understand that before breakfast, this individual always go to the gym. In other words, what I'm saying is the high tech will empower our workforce to provide the personalized services to our guests. I think that is very, very important. The second question is the question which my management or my peers also ask me many times. You say that you're doing RPA, Power Apps, you have automated so many business processes, you have saved 30,000 person hours. Can I remove those headcounts from the resources? Because you have automated that. But I think the world is going somewhere else. We are now developing new kind of skills. So probably we need to see that how we can take this individual, we can reskill them so that they're not busy in doing the repetitive tasks, but we are using them for their cognitive capabilities. And we leave the repetitive task to be done by bots, by AI, and by automation. So this is what I believe. And what I'm trying to say is that technology will ensure that we will make time for our colleagues so that they can invest their time in thinking new way to alleviate the guest experience, to curate new experiences, to see that how they can generate new business model, or to see that how they can optimize the business processes.
That's a great point.
So what Sanjay is saying and what Jumeirah is thinking, a lot of hotels are in that position where there's a lot of churn which has happened in last 2 years, and we need to kind of bring those people back, or we need to kind of train our people back, and technology is very, very important there, where how we can collaborate better, upskill them. And as Sanjay was saying, that automation does not mean that their skills are redundant. Their skills are much more valued now, because they can focus on other things where they can serve the guests better. They can build that one-on-one relationships. They will have that time to do that. They will have that intelligence to do that. So it's like building a collaborative environment for our guests and employees and the stakeholders. They can all kind of perform better. There is much more efficiency, and technology will drive that.
Definitely. And Zarina, I have a question for you. One of our attendees asks, isn't travel and metaverse contrary to each other? How do you reconcile the contradiction of real life experiences versus virtual?
Yeah, that's a good question. That's what I said, that travel is kind of, it's a big question for travel, and we have to figure out. So as we said, as we move, we will live in that continuum. And when I say that, there are a lot of things which you can do in metaverse for travel, like your whole planning, searching, booking can be kind of explored in metaverse. For an example, you can kind of do a wedding rehearsal for which hotel you want in a metaverse, or you could plan a conference, how the arrangement would look like, but and you actually later go and live that. So basically it's a deja vu, a window where you can plan and see and explore and choose how you would want to optimize the designs, the time, what suits you, and then pick and live that moment in the actual travel. So that's where we will have to marry the digital world where metaverse for travel is concerned. I hope that answers the question.
Definitely. That's a great point. I mean, that's very tied to what Sanjay said as well. These are tools for planning and making our experiences more engaging, but they're not actually replacing, more just helping to improve. So now, Sanjay, I have another question for you from the audience. They ask, how do you give a personalized experience to your guests when you cannot retain their personal data due to strict data privacy laws? Another tough one for the audience.
I think this is a very great question, considering the kind of awareness and regulation which is there in each jurisdiction. So, Saudi has different rules than US, and US has different rules than Europe. So this is a very, very important question. And that's why whenever you have to curate a personalized experience, it has to be based on the consent. Trust me, 3 years back, if you would have asked me the same question, I would have said that just ignore privacy. Privacy is gone because we are living in a permissionless age. Everyone knows about everyone, every other person. But in the last 3 years, things have changed quite a lot. So everything has to be designed by ensuring that consent is the basic foundation of the experience which you provide. There is a reason why we actually opted for a very unique solution for our selfie-based check-in. If you go to, let's say, Emirates Airline, you actually have to stand in front of a counter where they will register your face on their device, and then they will basically see that how they provide you the personalized experience. But as a customer, I don't know what they're doing with this data. I don't know. And same thing happens with the passport office also, or the TSA or regulation also. And that's what we are saying is, you don't have to give your digital identity to us. You use your mobile phone, you store your image with yourself on your device, and you validate this thing on the Jumeirah app on your device, and then we provide the personalized experience. That's one way to see that how we can provide contactless experience, plus how we address the privacy concern also. But these are the kind of new experiences which we need to curate, considering that we provide the required experience for maximum number of guests.
Definitely. And, one thing that we didn't discuss today that I wanted to bring up with both of you is one of the biggest challenges that I think the hospitality industry is facing right now, and that is sustainability. Now, actually, we're experiencing a moment where we have to really change our business models very suddenly to meet new sustainability goals. And I'm just wondering if either of you have experienced any technology that you feel is really helping businesses to do this and turn this around.
So, Andrea, you're absolutely right. I think sustainability is a part of CSR, plus it is also a part of business requirement now. If you go to Google nowadays and you go to Expedia and you start searching for a property, let's say in Singapore, They will be having a kind of filter which is based on how sustainable this property is. There is so much awareness among all of us that we really want to pay special attention to the business which are sustainable in nature. So it's not only a part of CSR, it is also a part of business requirement. And technology again plays a very, very important role. Whether it is to see that how we can make it zero emission, or we need to see that how we better manage the energy at our property. I think everywhere technology play a very important role. In summary, basically it generates the data, and then the data gives you actionable insight to see that how you can perform better in saving the energy. This is just one responsibility. But there is so much awareness and there is so much drive almost everywhere in Jumeirah also, that there are hundreds of initiatives which can actually foster without the role of technology. In one of our property, we are trying to see that how we can encourage almost all the guests who check in to plant a tree. This is not only in terms of sustainability, but it also helps us to retain the customer, because next time when they come and visit your property again, they can see that how that plant is doing, how it has grown. So there are too many initiatives actually which are going on in this part of the area with the help of technology and without the help of technology.
And I think you brought up a great point that, one, sustainability goals are important for the business, but also for the customer. There are more and more customers that are looking for sustainable travel options and that are want to be eco-conscious when they travel. So if you can engage them and involve them in this, I think that's really, then you hit the sweet spot there.
So as Sanjay said, and just adding on, so there are three things like reduce, reuse, and recycle. And at every step, technology plays a very important role in terms of like IoT and smart meters, which can monitor your usage. And then there are technologies which can help you recycle, monitor your waste. Then there are technologies which tell you what are the alternative source of energy. Like a hotel may have a huge amount of land, so if wind is a one energy, or any other alternative source, so there are different choices which you can make, and that decision input can come through data, AI, and other technologies like IoT, the metering and all. So across the 3 R's, if you build the use cases and then you say what all where technology can help you, be honest with your goal or speed up your sustainable development goal, I would say definitely. Without technology, you cannot do that.
Definitely. And as a last question to both of you, we've talked about adopting a lot of different technologies. And I think one of the biggest challenges to that is actually overcoming the fear of failure. Sometimes it can be intimidating for a hospitality business to say, hey, we're going to introduce a new big data technology or a new AI, and especially something big like metaverse. So my question is, how can you overcome that fear of failure when introducing a new digital technology and transforming your business?
I can, sorry, Zarina, you want to go first, please?
No, go ahead, Sachin.
First of all, I would like to share a few examples. When we did our AI-based SMS campaign, or we actually introduced the selfie-based check-in, or third is that, we wanted the business to try API economy, where we launched the API of our room reservation to our B2B agents, and then we wanted to see that whether there is an adoption to this or not. I think there is a fear of failure in all these new initiatives, and I'm talking about technology-based initiatives. I think the best way to address this is to see that how you can pilot it and learn from the experience which you get by launching it to a limited set of users. I think it does two things. First of all, it helps you validate your concept, whether you are going in the right direction or not. The second is it also helps IT to give an opportunity to a business colleague to experience it and then to buy it or reject it. I think this is really, really important. First when we launched the B2B channel, at that time we didn't have so much adoption. Forget about from our B2B, forget from our business colleagues, but from vendors also. Oracle also underestimated the potential of such solution in the hospitality world. But when we launched it slowly and we saw the adoption that we are getting more than 100 agents in less than few months, I think that changed the dynamics almost everywhere. So that is an example of the successful project. But there is another project, probably which we did some time back, and it didn't go anywhere. And unfortunately or fortunately, we decided to dump that project and move to a different one. I think the key mantra, Andrea, is to see that how you can pilot it. Then basically you see what is the kind of feedback that you get, and then you take an informed decision on how to move forward.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very true what Sanjay is saying, that today technology has grown so much as in like compressed transformation. You can quickly experiment and pilot. And another thing, because we are now more of a collaborative or crowdsourcing economy, you can bring in the stakeholders early into the program, experiment with them, launch a beta, test it out to see how they are going to adopt or how they feel about it, and then go on doing a scale. So you make it more participative, and especially when it comes to the business of experience, the hotel and travel, it plays a very important role, Andrea.
Definitely. That's very true. Well, I hope that our audience today has gotten some great insights from our two amazing speakers. Thank you so much to Sanjay and Zarina for joining us today. I really enjoyed it, and I think we got to a lot of our speaker questions. Now, I'd just like to ask everyone to take a quick moment to fill out our satisfaction poll. We would love to just get some insights from you on how we can improve for the future and bring you even more valuable content. So you'll see that pop up on your screen right now. If you could just take a moment for that. And lastly, as we were talking about at the end, digital transformation can sometimes be intimidating when you are first stepping into it, but having a good strategy in place, conducting a pilot, these steps can really help you along the way. And Singapore Tourism Board also has their Tcube program, which is ready to help you out in your digital transformation journey. So if you have any questions or you would like to attend some workshops or trainings, please do scan the QR code on your screen right now so you can get in touch with them directly. Thank you so much to all of you for joining us today, and we hope you had a fruitful session. Have a great day.